Get started. Hi everyone, I'm Vinda Ruby with LS Porter here. I have with me Lucia Song, who's going to be talking about updates to Argentina immigration. So Lucia, I'm going to forward it over to you to introduce yourself, and we're going to be talking about updates to the borders, how visitors are being handled, temporary work permits, permanent residency, and then also Lucia at the end is going to share some top tips with everyone as well. So over to you, Lucia.
Okay. Hi, Arvinder. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Lucia Song. I'm a lawyer and part of the immigration team of CSM. Now, currently in Argentina, we have more than 12,000 confirmed cases and more than 400 deaths. The situation is really hard because it's expected that in early June, the confirmed case per day will amount for 1,000.
Right.
And so this sense, on March 20, the president decreed the preventive and compulsory isolation, as well the closure of the external borders. This measure was actually extended until June 7, so only those people who work on the list authorized by the president can go outside.
Right.
We have around 60 exceptions. I mean, if you work in the health system, if you work in the security force, firefighter, justice service, consular staff, if you work in the supermarket, pharmacy, among others.
Okay, very good. And obviously, you know, from afar, we're watching South America kind of go through this. Europe's been through it, so we're really hoping that it's not as bad as other countries, and Argentina gets through this very quickly. Now, in terms of updates with immigration, what's happened with the borders? You had mentioned that in March the borders were closed. Is that still the case, and how does that impact anyone that's currently outside of Argentina come back in?
Well, since the border closed, it's not possible for expatriates to enter Argentina. And currently, Argentine consulate around the world have suspended the granting of visas and focusing on the reputation of Argentines.
Okay.
But for those foreigners who are in Argentina and their work visa expires in this period, they don't have to work because it has been automatically extended. Okay,
and is that for visitors and foreign workers, or is it just visitors or just foreign workers?
Since the Regulation 1714 of the National Direction of Immigration extended for 30 days all the temporary, transitory, and precarious visas. And so in this way, the provision guarantees the continuity of the foreign regular situation beyond the validity of the document.
Okay, brilliant. So we've covered the borders, we've just covered visitors as well, they get the automatic extension. Let's jump into temporary work permits. If you're an individual who has a foreign worker, you're on a temporary work permit, when should individuals be filing extensions, and do they get implied work authorization after they filed their extension with the official governments?
Well, if you have a temporary visa, you don't have an expire during the quarantine, you don't have to do anything because it's automatically extended. But fortunately, we don't have complication because the public body continues to work remotely. Maybe we have some delays, but the procedure goes the same way. And today, they confirmed the immigration office is begin to attend from 10 a.m. Only for 15 people per hour, and you need an appointment.
Okay, but in terms of any changes to employment, how would they be handled in Argentina? Are you required to file an amendment or update the immigration officials?
Well, the government, the president, have the provision to change any condition of the workers. You can fire the workers. So you have to continue with the same conditions of the contract.
Okay. Now, in the event, or in the unfortunate event that somebody is terminated from their job because of the coronavirus, are there provisions in place to give somebody a grace period to find another employment or change their status to maybe a visitor until they're able to leave, or are they expected to leave Argentina immediately?
Well, we have some case of clients change the temporarily resident to a permanent one. Because the immigration office is attending to the public with appointments, we can do that.
Okay. But in terms of if you are terminated in the US, if you lose your job, in most categories, you get a grace period of time. So in the H-1B, you'll get 60 days to either find new employment or change to another status. Is that something similar in Argentina?
Not really.
Okay, so you'd be expected to depart quite immediately. Okay, now in terms of, let's move into, we touched on some aspects of permanent residency. So how has that been impacted by the coronavirus, and would you still be recommending that clients pursue permanent residency at this point?
Well, we recommended to doing all the recording of the documents and to be ready when you have an appointment. Maybe this transit is going to be slow more than the regular one, but at least you are going to have your residence.
Yes, yeah. And what is the rough timeline that you'd look at in the normal course of business? Would it be 6 months, 12 months?
Excuse me?
What's the normal timeline that you'd be required to follow for a permanent residency?
Kind of 15 weeks, I think.
Okay, so that's still it's relatively fast in the scheme of if you compare it to U.S. immigration, which can take several.
Yes, but yeah, for U.S. immigration for sure. Yeah. But now we depend for the public body, so we are not sure of how many time it's going to take.
We're going to swiftly move on to top tips for immigration or HR mobility professionals. So Lucia, what would you be recommending to those folks to really focus on during this period?
Well, we are facing a situation that no one has ever experienced before. For us lawyers, it's a new paradigm because we used to have the answer to almost all cases, or at least knowing that if X happen, we can do A or B or C, and now we are forced to reinvent our way to working and being creative. In the truth is that in this time where everything changes from day to day, in addition to watching the news, it's very important to check the official source. We check the Boletín Oficial every day. The Boletín Oficial is where all the official laws, decrees, and regulations are disseminated. And then if you have a reputation case that requires urgent assistance, you can contact to the consulate in question. They always have an emergency number or WhatsApp. And try every day until you get the response.
Okay.
Even consulates have social networks, and they respond is faster, like Twitter or Facebook. And
really good guidance.
Yes. Work together with Argentine Foreign Ministry to have more information and check the special flights on the airlines. And as you can see, it's all research work.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It seems like, as we've spoken about this, obviously every country is different and information is coming out very, very quickly in a lot of different countries. So I think more so than ever, it's really important to stay very closely connected with your immigration attorney to make sure you're getting the most reputable information and you're understanding how any changes apply directly to your specific case as well. So really important information there. Lucia, I'd like to thank you for your time today. I think it's been absolutely phenomenal, and I know a lot of the viewers will find the information you've shared very, very relevant and important.